back at one of our first spots where me and Gene landed a big doggy. We got Neil and Ben, and man, we are keen. Fingers crossed we find some big fish, eh?
Oh, finally, Brett. Holy fuck! That's the biggest trout I've ever seen.
After a few days of solid diving, we went back to one of our spots where we had high hopes of shooting those big tuna between that 40 to 60 kilo range. It started off a pretty average day with not a whole lot of action, and I dove down to get a bit of their attention by shooting this surgeon fish, and as per usual, we chum it up, get the burley trail going, and it flashes down to try bring these bigger fish up to the surface. It didn't take long before these fish started showing up, and what started off as a pretty slow day quickly turned into one of the best days of spearfishing we'd all had. Once the first few doggies showed up, I took a couple dives down with the burley and the flasher to try get a little bit deeper to bring those bigger fish up. What I like to do is swim down with the flasher and then swim it back up to the surface, which sometimes brings these bigger fish just within range of us to be able to shoot them. After about 5 to 10 minutes of the initial commotion of shooting that surgeon fish, we started to see bigger fish show up. We were hoping that this might be the day that we get that 40, 50, or 60 kilo fish in the boat. Straight away, Gene shoots down to size up the fish and try to get a better look at what we're dealing with. Unfortunately, the shot was a little bit rushed and we did end up losing the first fish of the day, but we still had high hopes and it was looking very good for us as they were coming in big numbers and showing not much hesitation in coming close to the divers. In this particular scenario, Gene probably had a lot more time to get closer to the fish and place a perfect shot. It's hard though when it's the first fish of the day and everyone's extremely excited, so you get a bit trigger happy and end up shooting the fish a little bit early. You can see that float lose all its tension, and 99% of the time that means you've lost that fish, whether it's from a tear out, a shark eating it, or just cutting on the reef. Luckily, we redrifted and it wasn't very long until the fish of the day actually rocked up. And this was a 45 kilo dogtooth tuna that Benny managed to get a perfect shot into. And this took us for a little bit of a ride. These bigger fish have a lot more power than we're used to, and it was extremely exciting to see this fish take us around this reef, and it took about 2, 3, 4 minutes before we actually got him up to the surface and managed to put a second shot at him before he was officially landed and put in the boat. This was extremely exciting for us because this was one of the larger fish of the trip so far, being close to that 50 kilo range, and it only gave us higher hopes that the next few days could be even better than this. Teamwork is crucial when trying to land these bigger fish, from communication to your dive buddies and just making sure that lines are kept straight and no one's getting tangled up and being pulled down by these fish. One of the worst scenarios you could be in is getting dragged down by one of these 40 kilo fish that pull you down like absolutely nothing. As I'm on burley and flasher gun, it's my duty to help Benny out by pulling this fish up and being there to put that second shot the moment I get a chance.
big fish, eh? That's a big Yo. That's a proper one.
That's a big one.
Oh god. What the fuck is that?
Came up so easy, hey. Fucking hell.
Holy fuck. That's a good fish, bro. I need a... Can I borrow your knife? I lost mine.
Alright, Ben's just done it. The fish we've been looking for. Pull him up. That'll be close to 50, 40, 50 kilo fish. After Benny lands the biggest fish of the day, a few more of the guys get lucky enough to shoot some fish between that 20 to 35 kilo mark. And here's me putting a shot into my fish of the day, which came in around 33 kilos. Was still extremely excited with this fish and still made a good fight, and really shows you how strong these fish are. This one ended up getting tangled a little bit down on the reef and took us a little bit longer to get out, but eventually with a bit of persistence and some team diving, we got the fish out of there and managed to bring it up to the surface. After a few more drifts, we got a little bit more picky about the fish that we were going to shoot. We wanted to try find that massive fish that was going to be the one that made the trip super special. So we held off and let these smaller fish swim by while we waited for that bigger one to come. Unfortunately, today wasn't the day, but we had high hopes for the next day, and luckily enough, once you see that footage, you'll see that some really big fish came around.